What is up, everybody? Hello. Welcome back to the channel. As you can see, we have a request for Rhapsody of Fire, which is apparently an Italian symphonic power metal band. Apparently the pioneers. Been around since 1993, so we're dealing with an institution. Very interesting. I've obviously not heard of them. I am, for anyone who does know me, not a huge power metal fan. I've become one over the last 4 years doing reactions with my wife's channel, being exposed to new artists, and also Arion has helped me enjoy power metal vocals from people that I didn't normally listen to because I didn't listen to in that genre, and helped me realize just how good they can be. I've always liked, the power metal aesthetic, the speed, the vibes, but vocally and energy wise, it didn't always hit me. I have a bit of a darker soul, and I tend to like more of the doomier, darker kind of music, so I never really connected with it. It's not like it's bad or anything, it's just I never really connected to it growing up, and so I mostly avoided it, But Evan Burris, you've made this request for me. It's been a while since I've done one of your requests, so thank you so much for continuing to support us on Patreon. Man, you have no idea how much that makes us happy that you're still around, my friend. You've been around for quite a bit. If you want to go ahead and make a request of your own, you can support us on Patreon. HalfLifeSistah, this merch that I have here, this is handmade designs by my wife, HalfLifeSistah, and you can get that on HalfLifeSistah.com. Ain't nothing to do but to do it, I tend to over-explain my feelings about power metal because I'm always afraid of disappointing, someone who makes a request. I understand that I connect to darker music, and I go in depth on my understanding. If you watch, like on her channel, I uploaded a reaction to Bellacore, why we're attracted to darkness and why we connect with that kind of music and those darker vocals and the growl. And power metal is almost like the opposite of that. You know what I mean? It's like happy, it's nerdy, it's fun, it's cheeky. And it's not like I'm above that. I certainly love fantasy, sci-fi, and all that good stuff. It's just that musically, when you listen to music, you want to connect with it, and you want to have an emotional response. It's why you listen to music, right? To have an emotional response. We're not just doing it just to do it, right? You don't watch a movie or a TV show you don't like. You got to connect with the characters. You got to connect with the story, right? So not everybody likes everything, and it's perfectly fine. But I often ask myself, like, is it fine, or do I have a stick up my ass? Am I being too uptight? Just have fun with the music sometimes, So I'm over explaining once again, as I always do, because I can't like fake reactions. Obviously, I'm either enjoying something or I'm not. And just go look at some of the other reactions I've done. There's one secret I will say. On Patreon, we have done reactions to bands that we didn't necessarily have a good response to. And the only one I really talk about openly, because I think it's okay to talk about it openly, is Gorguts. Like, I'm okay with not liking Gorguts, and if you have a problem with it, that's on you. But I never posted the reactions on YouTube, and I never will, because at the same time, like, it's not just for the person that we did the reaction to, because most people who request reactions for us, except for one person in the history that I've been doing reactions, have ever had an issue with our real feelings. And most people know that everyone has a different taste, and for each his own, right? So it's not like I'm worried about necessarily the reactor, but I don't want the bands to feel, and again, it's one opinion, but these are still human beings. So the last thing I ever want to do is someone making so much effort into making music and being like, having to hear people talk about whether or not they like it or not, So I don't know, I just feel like it's kind of in poor taste, so I don't do that. I'm rambling all of that just to say, don't judge whether or not I like this. If you've never heard this and you enjoy it, that's good. My opinion doesn't matter. It was strange to me when I did Love Bites, when I wasn't fully sold on the singer. And this is what got me thinking a lot about, vocalists and why I'm not connecting to, for example, Asami or something like that. It's just, there's a certain level where I just don't feel like I can relate. And when you're ingesting media, you have to be able to relate to what you're ingesting, because otherwise it's just sounds, right? You have to have a connection to it. And everyone's connected differently because everyone's past experiences are different. But it was fascinating to me, like in Love Bites, where I just talk about my feelings and I'm just trying to be genuine. I remember one commenter said something hilarious, which was she sounded mad and offended and said she's never going to watch any reactor ever again because I guess I was making her feel bad about liking something that she liked. Like, think about that. Like, the whole point of reaction channels is to just experience something with someone, right? It's not to make them like it, right? I mean, it's the whole point is to see someone react to something for the first time, positive or negative. Maybe it's just me, I don't know, but isn't the whole point to have a real reaction, not just to like literally everything that's ever been made ever? Like, is that interesting? I don't know. And it typically happens on bands like this where, you know, there's this kind of I don't want to say fanaticism, but there does seem to be like certain bands that just have a more ravenous fan base, and I'm not sure what that's about, you know? Now, you had wanted me to do this intro and then go into Emerald Sword, the song. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do the intro first, and I'm pretty sure there's no stick up my ass, so this should be fine. We should be fine. Video game vibes. Like Final Boss. I love it though. Oh shit. Okay, wait a minute, wait. Okay, so I know I said all that stuff in the beginning, but the things I do like are very specific, and there's certain things that I grew up with that I've fallen in love with. One of the things I fell in love with, does anyone remember, this reminded me of, Basil, the Conan, the Barbarian, which is one of my absolute favorite soundtracks. Okay, you think I'm full of shit? Listen to this. So Conan's talking, his father's talking to Conan about the riddle of steel. And now the riders coming to the village. Now young Conan frolicking through the woods. And then you see Mike Metzger on a tree stump. He stands up. The dogs run past. I got this movie memorized. You hear that? And then this. See? It's like an updated version of it. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. I love that. Oh my God, I didn't mean to get distracted, but seriously, I love that Conan. I used to listen to that Conan soundtrack in the car and I used to just replay the movie in my head. So this is bringing me back some good memories, man. Okay, I'm gonna let this play out and then we're gonna get into the second song. I'm sorry to get distracted. I was 1 second too late. check to make sure that was normal. Normal speed. Nah. You see that? Oh man. See, I was in the right headspace. That's funny. That intro put me in the right headspace for this, because now I was just like, I wasn't thinking about any of the world's problems. I was just in a nice, fun place thinking about Conan. Yeah, in this kind of a mood, man. A song like this is just fucking fun. This chorus was great. The speed, like I had to check YouTube to make sure that I didn't have it accidentally on a faster speed. But that speed, man, I love. You know, do you ever watch like old songs that you listen to? Like I do this, I notice I do this occasionally with like Iron Maiden and stuff, where I put the speed up a little bit, and YouTube is amazing because it allows you, it pitch shifts. Like if you're editing, if you speed something up, it starts to sound like a chipmunk. But when you pitch shift it, it ends up sounding more like the actual voice. And YouTube is you know, clever in the fact that they do that. So when you speed up videos, it doesn't sound like you're listening to chipmunks. It just still sounds like the video, only fast. And sometimes I just have a need for speed, baby. And this song definitely had it. I enjoy the nerdy fantasy elements, you know, reminds me of when I used to play Ultima and stuff all day long in a dark air-conditioned room all by myself. And, you know, I definitely have those sensibilities, and in the right headspace, it really hits you well. So this was fun, man. Thank you, Evan. I dug it, you know, I guess just because of the mood I was in and whatnot. Great guitar work and really good, like, head bobbing, moving sound to it and energy. And the choruses were, you know, the usual triumphant power metal choruses, but not overly done and very enjoyable. You know, it just felt like a nice experience. So thank you, man. All right. If you want to make your own request, join us on Patreon. Oh, and by the way, if you like this intro here for that reminded me of Basil, if anyone knows more, shush, if anyone knows more stuff like that, either from this band or from anybody else, just more Basil stuff similar to that Conan soundtrack, I love it so much. So if you do know, please put it in the comments, because I would love to get some more of that stuff, please. Thank you so much.